Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, Cyrus. Cyrus, you need to get a prize. You need to already get a prize. Good morning, everybody. I am here. This is your girl Muku, and welcome back. Welcome back to our broadcast. This is breakfast for us, right? So let's discuss. We are going to continue the topic, as you can see across the screen here, paying bills 50-50 in the home as married couple, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, living together, if it is right for the man to request a woman in the home to pay 50-50 of the bill. So we're going to wrap up that topic today. As we wrap up the topic, we are going to merge into another topic that say, uh, then we say, if you pay bills in a home 50-50, is it partnership or is roommate? Me, I like to say roommate ship. And then is it right? So how do we consider that? Do we consider that partnership, or we consider it as roommates? Then our next topic we're going to dive in will be our next topic we're going to dive in will be our next topic would be how will you prefer your children, your stepchildren, or your children to call their step parents in the home? So will you consider your children in the home to call their step parents mommy, daddy, or you're gonna give them the option to do that? So let us dive into the conversation why I share the live broadcast. And then if you can, please, guys, please, let me tell you what happened last night, right? Let me tell you what happened last night. Facebook blocked me for an hour because I came online and I was trying to promote some facial work, and I share a lot, and Facebook blocked me for 1 hour. I was like, 1 hour, let me go to bed. But tomorrow morning, I guess I'll be fine. So welcome, Cyrus. If you're here joining the live broadcast, we're gonna have our irreplaceable D Rufus Divine Connect gonna be gracing the platform. He's gonna be doing that a lot now. He's gonna be coming on. You guys know Rufus and I started this whole Let's Talk About It with Moko online broadcast on Spoon TV, but for some reason, quote unquote, they decided to take our schedule and give it for politics, which is now called the Spoon Talk. So, but Rufus and I started this, and ain't nothing gonna stop us from reaching out to our people, to electing the minds of our people. So, I'm on. So, what I'm gonna do as I wait for our team to get on, we're gonna have our irreplaceable D, Rufus Divine Cunning, and we're going to have our own one and only sister, new birth Paulina. Her name is Paulina Boyce Harris Hunting, and we're going to be having these people as our guest host this morning. So join the broadcast. We're only going to be here from 9 to 11 o'clock a.m. prompt on the dot. Jojo's going to be on. She's at work, but she's going to be on. Jojo would do anything to come and talk to her people. So guys, as I wait for my team to come on, I'm just going to like entertain us a little bit with some we're going to be talking about parenting here now. Like I said, we're going to be talking about how you want your kids to call their step parent. So this is a conversation, in the home. Sometimes people demand things from the kids. But I for sure, you're gonna know my option, you're gonna know what I feel and what I do. So I'm gonna remove myself for now, and I'm gonna play our inspirational video. And after we have played our inspirational video, then we will come back with our live broadcast. Let me just play something real quick here. Okay, guys, I'm back now. Good morning. And like I said, our team gonna be on. So this is the conversation here. Let's complete the conversation from last week. The conversation from last week that we were having or that we had, and we have to complete this. And guys, as we discussed this morning, please make it your business to share the live broadcast with all your contacts. And if you cannot get to us on our Facebook, you can go to our Instagram, not Instagram, but our YouTube channel as well. Our YouTube channel, we have our YouTube channel. We have our YouTube channel for the benefit of those who are not on Facebook. So we do for the benefit of those who are not. So honey, if you in a noise, you can just mute your microphone, and then we will turn it over, and stuff like that. And when you are about to talk and there's a noise, I'll mute my microphone so we can be able to hear and get our messages across. So while we wait for everybody to come on, good morning, everybody. This is the Let's Talk About It with Muku online platform, and this is the table talk with Muku and Jojo. So we have our guest here, and she's going to introduce herself. We have our guest here, so you can unmute yourself now, or I will unmute you, honey. I will unmute you, or you can unmute yourself, honey, and then she will introduce herself to you guys. So, and I'm Muku. Everybody know me, the irreplaceable Muku, the one and only Muku, the most talk about Muku.
On
Oloma,
Facebook.
Oloma Agu. Yes, this is your most talk about. Mama, don't take no mess. Mama, say it as it is. Oluma here. So,
That's what you
guys,
gotta do. Keep it real.
we have our one and only new birth. You know what? Let me ask this woman. I go ahead, introduce yourself, and then I'll ask you. Introduce yourself with your Facebook name, and then you can give us your original name, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions before we dive into our conversation and wait for the other two to join us. So go
All right.
ahead.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mrs. Norbertha Boyce Harris. It is my original name, Vic. Honey Bunch. Belinda is my middle name. Honey Bunch is the play name. So just like how you got Muku, Honey Bunch is mine. So it's nice to be on your show. It's nice to be on your show today, though. Very interesting topics you've been, bringing about in the community, which is highly needed. So I'm just honored to be here today.
And I'm honored to have you as well. But if you can put your light in that people see the beautiful new
Is
birth, Paulina Boyce. You know what? I am not really familiar with this new birth name, Joe. I know Paulinda, and
Belinda Boyce, yeah.
yes, I know the Paulina. I have been knowing the Paulina for years, and you know how many years? About 14, 15 years
Yep,
since
because
I
our kids,
first
yep.
met you,
Yeah.
and I call her Honey Bunch. When I tell you I call her Honey Bunch, that's the reason why I call her Honey Bunch. Honey, while we go through this and talk, just share your live broadcast in your messenger with your
Okay,
contact. Yeah, so the
sure.
people can come on. I call her Honey Bunch. I've been knowing Honey Bunch for 15 years, I would say 14 to 15 years. I
Mm-hmm.
met Honey Bunch during a difficult period in my family when I lost my brother. That was when I
Yes,
met Honey. And ever since then, that bond has been there
it's been
and
there.
nothing has changed it. I remember I was in labor with Malachi, and Honey was pregnant as well with her daughter. And she came in the room that day. It was July 10th. Malachi was born. Let me just tell you guys a brief history of Honey and I, right? It's like me and Honey would be having sex at the same time, and be getting pregnant at the same time, and having children at the same time. So, Honey, when I called Honey and told Honey I was pregnant, Honey said the next month, Honey told me she was pregnant. She said, I'm pregnant. So I said, but Honey, why both of us be getting
Right.
pregnant at the same
We
time?
were
How
too
would you do
promiscuous.
it?
I'm what, just
Yeah,
too sexually active, I guess.
exactly. So then I in the hospital, and I called Honey after Malachi. I think I called you when I was in the hospital, and then you came. He was already here, right? So he was
Mm-hmm.
already here. So I said, Honey, I had a baby. She came with her stomach in front of her like that. She said, I wish it was me laying in this hospital right now with the baby.
That
And
pregnancy kicked my butt.
I had my son July 10th, and honey had her daughter July 11th. And so she left the hospital that evening. She called me. She said, my water broke. I'm in the hospital. I said, my honey, what's going on here? So I even got a friend. Both of us had a baby together. Lisa. We had a
Oh
baby
yeah,
the same day,
I remember. Yeah,
in the same hospital, right next to each other. My
yep, I
room was
remember.
like
Hmm.
327, and her room was 326.
Yeah.
Same day, same time. When I was yelling next door, she was yelling next door, and we had a baby. So for that reason, we celebrated both of them a birthday together. Partner, the link. All right, Rufus, I'm about to send the link. I thought I did. Let me send it again to you in your messenger. So guys, let me send the link to Irreplaceable. Okay, oh, I did. Okay, I just sent it, partner. I'm sorry, it didn't go. So, guys, so welcome to our live broadcast. Please invite. We have Cyrus was the first one. Cyrus kicking it. He said, "We kicking it. We kicking this show. We going worldwide. Nothing can stop us from educating our people, guys. So
Yep.
share our live broadcast. My one and only sister, Rich Bridge, is on live watching us all the way from Nigeria. All the way from Nigeria. I thought it was four. I'm sorry. Okay, let me correct the time here. She thought it was 4 o'clock. During the winter time, Nigeria is 7 hours ahead of us, right?
No,
Yeah,
six, isn't
6
it?
hours. No, no,
Hmm.
Nigeria time is 1 hour over Liberia.
Or is it okay?
Yes, and Ghana is Ghana.
Six. It's the
Yes,
same as Liberia.
so I'm so sorry, guys. So Nigeria, I apologize, and Liberia, I apologize. Liberia is not 5 hours ahead of us. During the winter, you guys are 6 hours. Nigeria is 6 hours ahead of us. So now you guys are 5 hours. I'm so sorry. And Chris is J. Chris, Lord Jesus is watching. And Chris was the one that created the flyer that I posted. He just like, mommy, send me something. Let me help you. I just wanted to test his work, and you did an amazing job. Only thing we had an error on the Saturday was misspelled, but that was a honest, typographer error. So, we say thank you so much for wanting to be an assistant to our team. We appreciate you. So we are here. Irreplaceable is trying to get on, and Jojo will get on, and we can kick it out. So, honey, I remember last week Saturday you really wanted to come on. Unfortunately, you had some technical problem with your
Right.
iPod. You guys are iPod,
We the Apple, yo.
Apple,
Apple,
apples.
Apple.
I don't deal with apples. I deal with my
I know
Android.
Android.
I
Hmm.
only do my Apple when it comes to my iPod, and Jamil forced me into getting an iPod for the business. So,
I
and
remember.
my technical guy Prince, why he forced me into getting a MacBook because of this whole thing here too. So that's
Hmm.
how I went into the Apple family, but my Android don't lie to me. So, honey, we had a conversation last week. We talk about partnership. We
Yeah.
talk about bills being paid, be it in
Hmm.
Africa, be it in America, whatever part of the world. And our question was, is it right for your husband, your boyfriend, your fiance, your significant other to request you to pay 50-50 of the bill in the home? Even though, let's correlate you a little bit, in which of course I know you are in the Lord, even though the Bible says, husband, you are the head of the home, and he said, we wife, we are your helpmates. He created us as a helpmate. So what do you think? What's your input? What's your intake on this? I know last week you really wanted, you got a little bit of sound going on over there.
I think it's my air. Let me turn it off. Hold on.
Yes, it will interrupt you from the people from hearing you. So yeah, so honey gonna come and give her submission on this topic, and we will continue. Guys, please invite. This is hard. So honey, I turn the platform over to you now as we discuss this, and I'll mute myself.
Yes. Hi everybody. Once again, it was like I said, it was very interesting. As you could see, I was like, commenting a lot on the broadcast. But 50-50 in any relationship, especially a marriage. Um, I for me personally, I will kick against it because when we relate to the Bible spiritually. God tells us the man is the provider, right? The man is the leader. He's the head of the home. And how you can lead and how you can head the home is by providing for your family. I know in our society we have this 50-50 rule, right? I know back in the days it was 80-20. Now it's 50-50. 80-20 men, 80 women, 20. Where women stay home, they were the homemaker, raising the kids, making sure things are up to par in the home. But nowadays it's totally different because I feel like many of our people, we came to, other countries and have adapted to, the norm within that country. But traditionally, it's the man who does all of that in our society, traditionally. Um, for me, communication is the key. Before you marry someone, you will have dated that person, right? You will have dated that person. You will have gotten to know who that person is. You're going to know the person's interests. At least I hope, you would want to do that, because that is when you would get to know what a person is like, or what's their beliefs, what's their take, give and take in a relationship. So, getting to know someone from the beginning is very, very pertinent. It's very, very important, because it'll determine if that relationship is going to last or not. There are some men just want to come in there and just have the woman take care of them. Okay, fine. If you're a woman that you feel like you want to support a man, you want to take care of a man, then that is where you're not going to have a problem with either the 50-50 or you, the woman, doing 100%. But wish I feel I totally kick against it. I mean, why would you want to, support a man unless there's a con to that, like unless, let's say, with health issues, like you married and your partner, your husband becomes ill to the point where he has to be out of work for a while, so you kick in, you jump in, and you do what you got to do temporarily, because when we take it to the biblical part, for better or worse, till death do us part, so, but it's very important to know upfront, if you're dating someone, okay, if I were to be your wife, if I were to be your husband, what do you feel like? How are we going to raise our children? How are we going to take care of our home? What are the, what are your vision for the family? Are you going to be the supporter? Am I going to be the wife that I have to work, and help chip in? Or are you going to be the one doing majority? What would you want me, the woman, to do? So it's having that understanding from the beginning of any relationship is the key. I honestly believe.
So, okay, if you are against 50-50 in a marriage or in a relationship, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you as a wife, you working and your husband is working, and this was one of our argument, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you are making more than your husband. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
What you think? How do you think the communication should be like? What do you think your responsibility in the home when it comes to bill paying, children, and taking care of the home should be like?
Yeah, I mean, uh, it's all about understanding and respect. But in relationships now, I feel like partners are competing with each other. Like, if the woman feel like the man is making a lot of money, she has to make money. Now, careers come in different forms, right? But if I was in that shoes, making more money than my husband, I wouldn't expect him to still take on all of that responsibility. So like, if I can, let's say, okay, honey, I know you're not making as much, but make sure you pay the car insurances, or the car note maybe is less than the mortgage or is less than the rent. It's all about communication and understanding. So what about, like, we know 9/11, when 9/11 came, a lot of household change, right? Because people lost their jobs. Corporate people lost their jobs, and it was so hard for many families, and that's why you found a lot of people going into healthcare, because that is the career that is really really substantial here. I mean, it doesn't and it keeps growing. There's growth in healthcare, so a lot of people gravitated towards healthcare here in America. I've been in healthcare for almost 20 years myself, so it's all about give and take. It's all about understanding. It's all about respect. Like, if I had to step up in my husband's shoes, I would definitely do it, because why? He's been doing the majority. That's a man that doesn't even know how much I make. Even if I say, oh, babe, I took pay today, he wouldn't even care. But I know at the beginning of the month, my rent is paid. The majority of stuff is paid, and I'm just doing the little bit in the home, making sure. Sometimes he even buys the groceries. So it's all about that man that knows his role and his responsibility. But nowadays, everybody feels like, you should do it equal. No, I mean, that would happen if you have that original understanding from the beginning of your relationship.
And which, of course, I agree. But have you realized, honey, that a lot of people now, a lot of us went into a relationship with not having things put on the table.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people meet somebody and they just go with the flow, right? They
Yep.
go
Yep.
with, oh, and they look more towards I love you. They look more towards I love you. They go more towards, oh yes, we are in a relationship. The relationship is starting, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm everybody, if one person talking, we have to mute because of the noise in the back. So one person, yeah, so we can get echoes. Yes, so we go into a relationship a lot with like, oh, we're going with the flow. Oh, we just met, he loved me, I love him. Oh, babe, we've been dating for 6 months now. Or like move in together. And then a lot of us women, when we get into a relationship, we just start doing things. Doing things. We the women, we are tough people, man. You know how we were built. You know how we were made. And you know how our minds are like. Oh, we want these things to be done. We want our house to be in order and everything, and we just go, not even having this conversation. So for that reason, it becomes a problem in our relationship. So Jojo is here. I'm gonna give her the audience. Jojo, we are wrapping on the 50-50, and then we're gonna merge into the parenting. How do you want your kids to call the step parent in the home? So I'm gonna mute myself, and then you will give your submission since you are here now.
Well, I was just popping on chest for my audience. I'm very busy at work. So I just wanted to just, plenty a little bit. So I will let you guys, because I don't know how far you guys are, but I'm just gonna listen and just listen right now. Just for a minute. I'll be getting off anytime. So you guys take it from here, please.
So, in response to what you said, Vic, a lot of people date someone because you see that person have what you
When
feel
point
like.
point of a correction, honey.
Uh-huh.
When we are on this platform, I am Muku, and Josephine is Jojo.
Okay, Buku, my bad.
Thank you.
I so used to that name. I gotta get used to this name. You know me. But sorry about that. Hi, Jojo. Nice to meet you. Thanks for allowing me to be on your platform today. Yeah. So a lot of people come into marriages relationship with expectations. You see someone based on the external part of that person. Like, you are looking at the looks, you are looking at about the education, you are looking at the just the physical, but you are not trying to get to understand that person in the other part, like internally, like spiritually. So when you see a guy who's driving Mercedes Benz, and automatically he's got money, right? So if you go into that relationship with him, you definitely gonna expect him to do the majority, because why? He's driving that fancy car. But a lot of it is all gimmick. People wants to do things just to belong. And that's why it's so important. Even if a person has so much, you have to get that understanding from the beginning of the relationship, the dating phase, to where you're gonna know what this person is capable of doing. So down the line, it's not going to interrupt your peace. It's not going to interrupt your life as a whole, because a lot of marriages, a lot of families are breaking up after years and years of marriage, because now it's like the woman feel like the man cannot do it anymore, and she's getting tired, or you the one just working. Like life has some circumstances. I mean, we have to adjust when certain changes happen. You have to adjust. It cannot always be green. Sometimes the grass is going to get brown. If there's no water to water it, it's going to dry out. So I feel like if we just have that understanding, and even through the midst of those issues, if you sit down and have a one-on-one talk, like I said, it's always communication, because it'll help save a lot of things. And research have shown a lot of marriages fail because 70% does not communicate. Just imagine, communication is 70% of any relationship. So,
Okay, we just like to welcome Daconte and look at some of the comments that we have here. I think she's responding to what you're talking about relationship. Good morning, my beautiful sisters. This girl is the gatekeeper, and I think we just terminated her employment because she's not actively working. She always no call, no show. So I will have to discuss it with the general manager Jojo and see if we can terminate the employment for Daconte. Okay. So, but anyway, the irreplaceable is here, and we'll turn it over to you, Rufus, as we gave your submission. We are closing up on the 50-50 partnership conversation that we had last week, Saturday, and then we're going to dive into how do you want your kids to call the step parents. We all people are married. We have children before we got married, and they come into the home and another man. How do you want your daughters or your sons to call your husband or your wife, mommy, daddy, or you will give them the chance to make a decision? So, Rufus, can you hear me? Oh, the network with Rufus is kind of bad. Ah, Liberia. But anyway, Jojo, if you want to come in and give a submission, you are welcome.
From my side, I know a lot of the time you will hear people saying, give the children the chance to decide how they want to call the person. A lot of people say the same thing. And if I go to the Bible said that the parents should train up the child on the way they should bring up the child. Your child is the child in the home. You can say, "Oh, the child should do this. I will let the child to decide this." So why, when it comes to calling names, then we should allow the child to decide that part? I believe, to me, I feel like the children. The children should call their step parents mom and dad, because I believe that mom and dad is not only your biological parents. My dad doesn't only mean the person that born you. Someone who care for you, like a mom and dad, can be your dad. And if you can look at your mom friend, and call your mom friends auntie and uncle, why you want to look at the one that taking care of you like a mom and dad, you want to call their uncle, auntie, all by their name? I don't think that's the right thing. And I don't think that's a decision for the child. The parents should tell the child, this is my husband. He's the head of this home. You have to call him that. And the reason I'm saying this, for the step parents, for example, if you have your stepchild, like you're not in the home anymore, you say, oh no, my daughter not going to call your husband daddy. Well, you who's saying it, you would not want my husband to not take care of your child like his own child. You want the man or the woman to take care of your child the right way. You don't want the man or the woman to pick and choose between your child and their own child. But then you want your child to call the person by their name or auntie, but then the person child calling their mom. I don't think it's right. For example, you guys go somewhere and all the other children calling you mommy, mommy, and the other one come and say Auntie Joe or Joe. Right there, you just make everyone to know that this family is divided. And I don't think you should put division between that. So if you start picking between the children, oh that much, or you go somewhere and say, oh how you doing? That's my daughter here, and that's my stepdaughter. It just doesn't look right to me. When you guys are family and you're together, and the person taking care of your child, right? They don't have to be the biological, and it don't have to be the child's decision to decide how to call that parent. They should be able, that's their mom, that's their dad. They should be able to call the person mom or dad. Now, you don't want someone to mistreat your child, or you don't want me to take care of my children better than your kid. So why do you want your kid to call me by my name or auntie name? So I don't think it's fair, but that's what comes from my end. I will turn it over to one of you guys.
Honey, I think I will listen to you before I come in.
Georgia, I agree with you to an extent. Let's keep it in mind where kids, especially kids born here, they have a whole different way of thinking and mentality than when we were born in Africa, right? Because we know what not to do. But yes, I agree where the parents have to make sure the kids go accordingly to how God wants kids to be read, right? So let's take excuse me, let's take for an instance in terms of divorce. Divorce, it does a lot to children, especially if it was a nasty divorce. So there you have kids trying to process all of what just happened to that family that they're used to seeing mom and dad together. And then now, let's say maybe like 2 months, 3 months down the road, they're seeing another guy coming and occupying that space. They have not healed. They are hurting. And for them to just adapt to calling someone they just met dad, I don't think that's fair to them. Now, if it's based out of, if there is marriage out of that, the mom, okay, this is my husband. And let me tell you, we have to communicate with our kids. We cannot just expect our kids to just jump right in and embrace everything. We have to give them that room where they themselves kind of see and adjust. What if they don't like your new partner, right? And then there you are forcing them to call dad or mom right away. It's gonna build that hurt. It's gonna build that resentment towards you, the mother. So and the reason I'm saying this, because I work in social services. I did my master's in social work, so I did human behavior. So I'm talking from that regards. Okay, so when children are not healed, and you force them into doing something, and you will know the body language of your kids if they are very comfortable. In my situation, it was so easy for my kids, especially my little one, to start calling my husband daddy. It was so easy. Because why? There she has a baby sister. He came. He was like it's like he got down to that level in a way, build that relationship. And today, my daughter loves my husband more than her own biological, because she's built that relationship for the last 4 years with him. So, like I said, children just needs to adjust to the situation before we embark upon them. Like, you have to do it. And coming from a divorced family myself, I will speak from my own experience. It was hard for me. It was so hard for me, in a way, to a point that I resented my mother. It was hard. Look, we shouldn't take this thing for any joke. It's serious. And as I became a mom, and when I started to look back, then I started to understand certain things when it came to my mother. But yet, it's still children. They had never healed from a divorce. They are never healed. And once there's a blended family, they have to work gradually, towards that to fit in. Thank you.
So I would say I agree more with you, honey, when it comes to that. One thing that we as Africans, should I say, parent, we fail to realize when we are in a relationship that's going to be broken, or if we are in a relationship that's going to lead to divorce, I think we should be able to communicate with our children. We should be able to seek help for our children. A lot of times we as Africans do not believe in counseling our kids. Even let's first of all start with a loss, right, of children in a marriage. When you lost your husband, or the children lost their father or lost their mother in a marriage where the children were birthed into their home, and they're seeing their mom, they're seeing their dad together. All of a sudden mom disappear, all of a sudden dad disappear, and you just say, oh yes, your daddy going to be with the Lord, or your mom going to be with the Lord. That still does not help children. It does not help the children. We as parents, when we find ourselves going through grief with our children, we should seek counseling for our children, professional counseling. Be it marriage, broken marriages that end in divorce. And one thing we as parents should always do and always consider for about our children, if we know that we are in a relationship and that relationship's not working, it's going to be broken, have a conversation with your child. Even if you are a man, even if you are the father or you are the mother. If I'm in a situation where I'm going to be divorcing, I'm not going to be in a marriage, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my kids and say, listen, that's a situation I want to talk to you guys about. First, get the options. First, get the view. I know mommy and daddy has been together, but we are going to be separating because the marriage is not working and blah, blah, blah. You talk to the children and get them prepared. Honey, you can unmute to respond anybody and get your kids prepared. Let them know that mommy and daddy's not going to be together forever, and mommy's going to get another person in their life. So as you seek that counseling, the Deconti Washington, she's a social worker as well, and honey, you are a social worker. As the kids start to be counseled and talked to gradually, even though they will not be healed, they're gonna. It's like death. I will miss my mom. I will miss my pa. I won't see my mom again. I won't see my dad again, or whatever. But at least I will see my dad. And one thing we as parents, when we are getting into Rufus, can you mute yourself? We as parents, when we are getting into a broken marriage, we should learn this, and we should consider this, that whatever it is between me and you, it's not about our children. So you are not going to badmouth your ex-husband to your children. You are not going to badmouth your ex-wife to her children. Oh, your mom was this, your mom was that. No. Whatever the situation is between you and your ex-husband should be about you. It's not about the children. What's supposed to come in for the children is for you to consider the well-being of your children, and that is period.
Okay. My break will soon be over, so I'm going to just say a few things before
Mhm,
I leave, and maybe
mhm.
I'll pop in or later. When I was talking about the children calling, the parents, mom and dad, first of all, I'm talking about marriage, because you should be married first before your kids do that. And second of all, like what you said, our children in this country now, and which I understand exactly what you said, And but when we go by the environment we in now, or the way the country runs or the world runs, we will lead our children in a whole nother place. So for me, I don't go by because I'm in America. I raise my children the way I supposed to raise my children. My daughter, I raised her the way I supposed to, not because her
So you
friends
can
using me,
give
because
us a minute. Just give us a minute. Jojo, sorry, this guy viewing from YouTube want to
Okay.
ask question, but go ahead.
Okay.
Mhm.
Not because I'm in America, so I have to have my kids doing the things I don't want. Say I don't want my daughter to do the makeup thing. Nope. If I don't want her to do the relaxer, nope. If I don't, so sometimes it come up with the way you bring the children up.
Oh,
That's the way they will
I am
respond.
going for
But
mental health therapy.
I
Okay.
feel like I'm not going to raise my children according to the way the world wants to run. I
Mm,
am going to run my children the way the Bible wants me to run my children. Train the child the way they should grow so they shouldn't depart from it. So I don't care how the America gonna run, how the world gonna run. I'm going to raise my kid the way it's supposed to be. If I'm going to get a husband that I expect to take care of my kids like his own, I expect my kids to call him dad. Okay, so everyone will do this different way. My and like I said again, it left with the way the children were brought up, because some children brought up different. It would be hard for them, you know, and it just depends. But for me, I'm just saying I'm going to bring them up like that. I don't care how this war runs. I
mhm,
am not going to let the war to run me. And like
mhm,
you see, if it's going to be therapy, okay, it's going to be therapy. If the children have to sit down for you to talk about it, good. But I don't think the mom should have a boyfriend right away. The kids start calling the boyfriend. No, I think a husband, because you never know if the boyfriend. But if it's a husband where they're calling the husband that and then you get divorced, that's different because they were husband and wife. Okay. But I feel like that's the respectful way. How do
mhm,
you want this man to take the kid and be like, oh yeah, yeah, meet my daughter, and she look at him like a step? Oh, that's my step. That I just feel like it start to bring separation right away. Nobody want. I don't want to take care of my kids or
mhm,
take care of the other kids, and they calling me like that and they want me to care for them. For example, I have my step kids. They loved me and we all did everything together. But I think they felt like they had to call me. My kids were calling my husband daddy, and some of them were calling them my other kids. Some of them calling me mom, and the other ones were calling me Auntie Josephine, which I was okay. And I knew it was not right. I didn't like it. I talked to my husband about it, which my husband, when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, at first, he even wanted my children to call him dad. I told him, no, we are boyfriend and girlfriend. We just meeting. My kids will not call you dad
mhm,
until we are married. And
mhm,
once we got married, my kids start to call him dad. Then
mhm,
he brought his problem to me and tell me, oh, well, like you see, they are American children. I think we should give them, instead of calling you into Josephine, we
mhm,
should give them the time they should decide. So I said, okay, but you, when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, you wanted my kids to call you right away. When I told you no, you were mad. So I didn't say nothing. I allowed the children to call me the way they wanted to. One
mhm,
day we were going to church and we were in the car. I would not, my stepkid loved me. I would tell you that. We were in the car. Then I asked them, I said, how will you guys like when we go out and I make an introduction the way we usually go? And I say, oh, you guys meet my children and these are my stepkids. Right away, the other one eyes came up. You are the no, you can't call all your stepkids. We don't want you to do that. I said, but then how you think I feel
mhm,
when we out there and you calling me Auntie Josephine and my children calling me mommy? He was like, oh, you right. And from that day, from that car, my husband children from that car. They never wanted me to say stepchildren. From that day, they start calling me mom. I didn't make it as a force of fly, but I just told them, if you feel that way when we go out there, I say, here are my children there. That's my husband's children and my stepchildren. And I mean, his eye popped out of his head. He's like, oh, mom, I understand where you're coming from now.
mhm,
And from that day, he never called me Auntie Josephine again. They call me mom. But I just think,
mhm,
that's the way family. That's the way the separation starts in the family.
mhm.
Honestly, when we start running our
Which
family the way this country run or other countries run, or the way the world runs now, and
mhm,
I understand totally what you're saying, because some children were ready to fire and they start having behavior. But
mhm,
sometimes again, it come up with the way we bring the children up. The way
mhm,
I brought mine out, it's easy for us to sit and talk and they change that mind right there.
mhm.
Because mine, they know already I followed the rules where we're not doing it the way the world runs.
Okay.
We're doing it the way I'm supposed to bring you up, like the Bible wants me to. But if I have any more time, I will get in, but my lunch break is over and I will talk to you guys later.
Thanks for your submission. I know you'll be watching and I will respond to what you just said. Thank you, Jojo. See you later.
Okay, though.
So, Rufus, can you hear us now? Oh, Rufus, poor Rufus. Poor Rufus, Liberia network is killing him. Irreplaceable, can you hear us? So let me make a summation on what Jojo was saying, right? I When it comes to step parenting, segregation is not should not be a part of it. But for me, I will never enforce on my kids how to call the stepdad. First of all, when we're boyfriend and girlfriend, I'm not even going to give you the opportunity to be a parent in my child's life. You will have to, honey, you can unmute yourself because it's only two of us. You will have to prove yourself to that child. And even if we get married, I am not going to tell my child to call you daddy or mommy. Let me tell you something. Jamil choose to call her stepmother the name that she called. She calls her mom by choice. And I did not tell her, never you call that woman mom. She's not your mom.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
The kids choose to call you the way they want to call you and the way they feel and believe that you are part of them. The way you accept them, that's how the kids will accept you. Let me just mute a little bit. And Rufus, can you hear me?
I'm getting you now. Sorry,
Right, I know that.
so much for in
I understand.
the network is nice.
So, Rufus,
Yeah.
let me just give you an audience because you would never know when you will get off again. So, let's just give you the opportunity. So, yes, yesterday, last week, Saturday, we talked about relationship and pain, and people even accuse you of being you should be a twin a dad in the conversation. People felt that you were more on the women's side than you were on the men's side. And secondly, people feel that everything that you say on this platform, you're just saying it because you want to say it. That's not who you are. I had to get on them because I know who Rufus Devon Connor is. So we were wrapping up with the 50-50 in relationship, in marriages. Once you guys are living under the same roof, be it boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, fiance, whatever. Once you guys are living under the same roof, we are wrapping up with that comment, with that conversation, and we are diving into another one. And how will you like for your kids to call your wife as a stepmother? How will you prefer your children? Will you impose on your children to call your wife, which will be the stepmother, mommy, or will you impose on your or your children to call your husband daddy, or you will give them the chance to decide to choose how they want to? For me, I say I'm not going to force them. I'm not going to tell them you have to call my husband daddy. No, I'm not. And we did have a conversation, like a lot of times we parents, we do not talk to our kids when we are having difficult time in our marriages and we know that this marriage is going to end. We need to dive into the behavior of letting our children know that mommy and daddy has been married for a couple of years and it's not working. And I will tell them my reason. I will have a conversation, most especially for us who live in the diaspora, even around the world. Children understand, honey, you can unmute yourself to respond. Children understand. Children see things in the home. They know when their mom's not happy. They know when their dad's not happy. They know that when a relationship or a
Yes.
marriage not gonna work. Honey,
Yes.
we had a conversation last week, Monday. You remember what I told you, right? You remember what I told you, and you remember what I said, Camille said,
Yep.
right? You
Yep.
remember. So children see these things. So it left for you, the
Yeah.
parent,
Yeah.
to be able to conversate with these children and say, this is what going on. And they'll tell you, mommy, I understand. A friend of mine was going through a divorce. She said she told her son, and he said, mommy, you should have been out of a long time. I feel your pain. I see what you go through. So it's always good for us to discuss it with the children. If
Mhm.
we feel the children so young, we get counseling service in the school. It's free. Just call the
Yeah.
school and say,
Yeah. For free.
I'm going through
Mhm.
this in my home and I'm going through divorce. I'm having a broken marriage and I know it's going to be kind of hard on XYZ in school in my work on him. So I need him to take an hour of counseling and they will grant him that counseling in school, that therapy in school. And gradually you will understand. The kids will try to understand. I know sometimes when the marriage is rough and tough, the kids will be broken. But once you as parents express and tell them what it is. And one thing we should realize that the divorce or separation should not be about the children. Do not buy them off your mom, the mom. to the child, to that bottom of the child,
No.
to the mom. That's one thing we should realize, that it's not about you as a husband or ex-husband, your feelings. It's about the well-being of your children. So Rufus, I turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Sometimes we appreciate these kind of conversations because as often as we can have it, we must, because it helps to build other people. Even we who have the conversation, we have gone through it, dusted and done, and we have the experience. Those experiences can be shared to help somebody who's going through those tough time in their lives. Not everyone will actually find themselves going through it, and the manner and form they will respond to it like you did will not be the same. Some people don't have the strong heart, or they don't have that mindset to go through, most especially these things turn out to be depression. But our previous discussion last week, I heard you say, somebody say, Rufa, just saying that I'm one young man, regardless of where I find myself. I believe what I say is what I actually do. I'm not 100%, but I strive to maintain what I call my integrity, because my integrity is just me. I'm not a faker to fake things to make it, because you have young people faking it to make it. So when we discuss these kind of issues, let us put our mind and our all into it. Marriage is not a child's play. Marriage is not for boys and girls. If you are a teenager and you decide to get married, know that you are now grown. You are a man and a woman. Boys and girls don't get married. Men and women do get married. So when we talk about the 50-50 share in the marriage, what is it? Like we said the other time, come on, we must be able to complement each other. If the man doesn't have and the woman has, she should compliment him. Though it is written biblically that the man is the head of the family and the woman is the head of the home. So now, because of the financial impropriety on the man's side, and the woman has the financial strength, trust me, she can actually help him in that land. That's why the Bible says the person becomes a helpmate. So you, the man, you know your strength is not financial, and you have that moral ability to back your woman. You work in that line. It's all about togetherness. That's what I said. If you see your marriage as a contract, there where things will come in. You hear people talking about the little things that just don't even matter. The little things that just don't matter. But if you see your marriage as a covenant, that God is the source of the marriage, you will make provision. That's why He honors marriage. Marriage is honored by God. Before you get into marriage, there will be a lot of obstacles. There will be a lot of things that will want to divert your attention from getting involved into that holy ordinance. But when you get into it, there were favor, there were goodness, good health. A lot of things start to come in. And when these things start to come, you say, "But what? The harder thing enjoyable." Then what brings in the break and a lot of challenges in the marriage when you're not faithful? When there's no faithfulness in the marriage, when you start to cheat, and the other person is holding to that covenant, that vow, that for better for worse, I saw all others and forsaking them, and we are now one. I'm not going to see no other woman. I'm not going to see no other man. Trust me, God covering is over your marriage. But if one leaves and go to cheat, the coverings remain over the person who's still holding the vow. And the one who have broken the vow become vulnerable. That way you start to see all kind of fluctuation in the marriage. You start to see the flaws of the person. You start to see a lot of negative things about the person, things that you did not see before getting in the marriage. Now you start to see them as issues. That's why you see it's always good for people to go through counseling. When you go through counseling, is where you share your negative thoughts about the person to the pastor, is where the both of you come to a point to understand. Now, you are coming from diverse training, from different family orientation, coming under one umbrella. You hear the songwriter say, loving is easy, living together is hard. So coming under one umbrella, you have different attitude. She has different attitude, but the both of you must coexist. What is it going to be like if you have that high temperament and he's a low temperament kind of person? At least bring your own down to 50. Then he increase his low temperament to 50. Then the both of you have an equilibrium. You have that kind of understanding. Even in the issue of sex, if you have that high urge for sex and he's not the kind of sex person, he needs to build up. You reduce, you have a connection point where it should only be you. No. If you see your marriage as you, come on. This is not about team. The word team has no R in it. The word team has no R. So if you see your marriage, it just everything should be you. You must be the finest. Come on, regardless you being the man. That's why you found a lot of marriages, a lot of problems getting into the marriage. If you, my family member, you need something from me, come on. I must tell you, go and consult my wife. That's why you need to build a relationship with your in-laws. You know, you need something from me? Consult my wife. My wife will bring it to my attention. If you, the wife, your family needs something from you, or consult your brother-in-law. Like that, you will find a clear understanding. You will make your family to know that you are no longer, you have your own family. They have theirs. You have chosen somebody to live the rest of your life with. So if that family sees you because you are providing and the man is not providing, so they can come to the man, they must go to you, the woman who got the financial strength. Come on, they will start to disrespect your husband. After all that, our sister providing here. After all that our sister something. But let them always know that the man should be your grievances or whatever request should be channeled through your husband. They will build that respect for him. They will build that respect for her. But instead, only my family say, I'm gonna do that when I did it, but I just won't tell you. Come on. What makes we men proud is when you give her respect. When you're not showing that respect, you're not giving that regard to the man. That's why you've been the financial strength in the relationship. That man feel belittled. So he goes the extreme to do anything because you are not giving him that regard. Do not show your family. Do not show the weakness of your husband to your family. They will use that to put your marriage asunder. Do not show the weakness of your wife. If the both of you cannot settle things in the bedroom, where you should take it separately, go and see God's face. Now there's even the pastors. They are very divisive. They are putting marriages aside. They are putting marriages asunder. So the best thing the both of you can ever do is to pray. Prayer is the key. So in terms of the 50-50 division of whatever it is, if I'm the man, I'm not financially potent and my woman is financially potent, the best thing I can do, the little work that is in the home to be done, when the time is available, I make them to be done. If even I won't do it physically, my children, the children in the home, I make them to do, look, go and get your mom clothes press. Go and wash your mom stuff. You understand? Okay, now the laundry, you need a laundry to be done in the home. You want a woman to come from outside. After finishing buzzing her head to get money for the home. Then she can't wash clothes or cook for you. Come on. No, my man. You got a kids, more especially we that got the bigger kids, make the children to cook. Let the children make something. Let them come and see something new. If even the only two, if even it is the only two of you in the home, go to I know higher call place for you in the western area there. Go to Madonna or what? Go to some kind of fast food area. Let a woman come and meet something home. Women, you love surprises. Women, you love surprises. You surprise the woman. Come on. You have given her that energy to go beyond, to do the needful. But yeah, is it? Bigate, that pride, that arrogance, when it enter us, most especially we the men. Oh no, come on. Then we start to do all sort of things to show, to push to the face of the woman, not showing her that level of appreciation. Come on. Hell no. If the woman go, if even it is something that she took your clothes to watch, appreciate it. Let her know that the effort she has applied just to watch that clothes is commending. She will do more. Even your children, man. The children in the home, they go to do something. Appreciate them. Even if they are not done it well. Or you send a child to do something and that child is not doing it well. Appreciate them. Appreciate them. Appreciate them.
I told ya, I said, let me get Rufus the audience because you never know when Liberian network will, honey, you can unmute yourself. Liberian network will harmonize him. So, that was Rufus Divine Content, and he's going to come back. Okay, now he's back. So let me kick him from on the other side. Let me kick him out, and I'll bring him back in.
He was
Okay.
actually making some good points, Vic, but I think that
Yes,
whole
you are.
time
He
we
back.
need
He's
another
back.
show for that topic. Yeah,
Yes, he's back. He's
he
back. Yes, honey, we're listening.
okay.
Oh my God. But Rufus, I know you was making a good point there. Let's just recognize and some of our viewer here. We have our YouTube
Mhm.
viewer. I think his name is Haji. Hold on, let me just put it here. We say everybody welcome Jamu Harris. Welcome, everybody. Let me just start with a comment a little bit. Cyrus, of course, who has been one of our renowned member. We need to give Cyrus the diamond membership. Rufus. Cyrus, we
Eh?
needed. I said we need to get Cyrus the diamond membership because he been with us for like 3-4 years now. So I'm just saying hi to everybody here. And Rufus has a lot of questions and comment here that's gonna come up. So Rufus, get ready to respond to these comments and yeah, everybody said you are absolutely right, which was Deconti was talking to you when you talk about going into a union and Deconti saying, oh, it's because I said I coming to come fire her. Deconti is supposed to be the gatekeeper, but she always no call, no show. She's gonna get terminated soon. So, but anyway, Jamu say I'm here for the glasses queens. Yes, thank you. Me and Jojo have our glasses. So now you were making your submission here, and we have a lot of people who were uh, uh, standing in agreement with you and like that content here where when you talk about union, being together, getting into a union and stuff like that, she said Rufus is on point, which of course is good. And a rich bridge all the way from Nigeria. Rufus, I don't know if you can see the comment to respond to this one.
Yes,
Rufus.
I'm seeing
Yeah,
the comments.
so
I'm
so you
seeing
can
the
respond
comments.
to your comments and it's right there. She said Rufus made a good point. Go ahead, Rufus, and say what you gotta do.
Well, so just to conclude on our side of the 50-50, we need to work as a team. See your partner as a team player. They are not as rivals. They are your team player. So
Mhm.
if your marriage is built on the principle where you see each other as complementers of the efforts, whatever efforts you bring to the marriage, come on. Even the children do play a pivotal role in the upkeep of your marriage. For some of us who have the children, our children outside of marriage, and then coming in, I heard you people talking about that, coming in a marital home, meeting
A
another
blended
group,
family,
then
blended
being,
family. Mhm.
eh?
A blended family.
Well, not coming broken, but however, so just to conclude on that, we need to see each other as complementers. We need to see each other as we can devour whatever it is. Come on, if you're not financially potent, morally you can support. Morally you can support your partner. Yeah, the little things in the home don't feel too big to say, oh, the woman gone to fetch bread for the family. You are not capable now. Okay, for instance, if you just left Liberia or Africa and went on that side, it takes time for you to get a job. Now this woman is jobbing, she getting all of the necessary financial strength for the family. You in the home, so you don't Debbie crank on your phone whole day. No, the snow is falling. Help to clean the snow. You need to do the laundry. Have to do the laundry. Get the children to prepare for the madam. And, let her come and see some new, the house. You can clean the house. It doesn't cost a thing. Clean the house. Make sure that the house have a different look. When she come, oh wow,
So,
who did this? Oh,
Rufus, and if anybody who viewing us want to come and be a part of this conversation, just let me know. I will send you the link, or you can just call me on Messenger, and I will put you live. So, we got Rich Bree from Nigeria here. She says, Rufus, you made a good point. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, my gender believe that the man should shut out everything at home. They do not want to they do not want give a helping hand at all. Hmm. So she's in Nigeria. So she's talking
that is
about
wrong.
that is wrong.
That is actually wrong. It's actually wrong. Everybody need to compliment each other. We need to compliment each other. It will help to strengthen the relationship. But if you just that, oh, like uno tino duo, you see the children going astray. We the men when the child is doing well, you hear my mom used to say, watch you the men. When the child is doing
Thank,
well, you say, oh, that my
you
child
can
there.
take
You
that
take
off.
pride.
Yeah, thank
But
you.
when the child is doing the wrong thing, when a child is doing the wrong thing, you say, let your child there. You tell the woman, let your child there. Let your child again. Also, the both of you did not conclude to get that child. So, because the child is doing the worst, so that the
No,
woman
Rufus,
you are referring to
Rufus, no, Rufus. I think a lot of times when parents saying that, they don't mean harm. They don't mean because the child is doing it worse. Let me be honest with you. A lot of times I'll say there, well, like say, your son, tell your son to go do this, or like, yeah, like your mom, these things we just say it to like maybe I would say personalize your role as a parent in a child's life. For me, if I'm emphasizing, oh, that's your son, it's not because he misbehaving or there's something negative about him. So, I think parents just use those things. I don't think it's about, yes, I agree. Some parents don't want to be tied to a negative child or something. Yeah, maybe people would say that. But for me, I would not say that because the child is misbehaving here. You are making a very big legal Rufus. So yeah, Rufus, you're getting it again to deal. So what are you are actually preaching civilization, Rufus. That's how relationships supposed to be. Hey, Stanley, say not today, Rufus are the real man today. Oh. Last week, Rufus was the worst man. Rufus was just on the woman's
Yeah.
side, but today Stanley say that Stanley is viewing us from all the way in Nairobi, Kenya. So we say welcome, Stanley. So Rufus, they said today you preaching, preach because you on the main side today, preach. So Rufus. She said, Rufus, I wish I can give you a big hug. So, but Rufus, you don't want coming to read a minister on I think what she put here. I give it to you, Rufus. Session rules. That's one of our gospel
this is
artists.
the favorite one. I think children should be raised to respect the elders and address them properly. Example, Miss, Mr. So on and so forth. And also, if a woman or man is playing the role of a father or a mother, they should be respected also. However, kids should not be forced into calling someone their mother or
Or
father
their
if they
father.
choose
Mhm.
not to.
Yeah.
As a
Exactly.
woman
And that's what
or
I
man,
said. Yeah.
Hmm.
tell your kids how important this person is in your life,
Is to
and
you.
you
Yeah.
will accept nothing but respect from them towards that person or this person.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you
the
see,
person is right.
like I said, the only thing I'm gonna tell the children, listen, this is your stepdad. This is your mother's husband. I expect you to respect this man like you will respect your father. You understand? He's important. He loved me, and you guys know that he love you guys. He know that he love you. So definitely, I expect you to respect him like you will respect your father. But I am not going to impose on that child to say, "That's my husband. You have to call him daddy." No, I gave you the chance. Jamil decided to call her stepdad pops. She feels that's how she wants to call. She decided to call her stepmom mom. That's how she thinks she can make the, but she know the roles that both of them play in her life. So do not, no parent should impose on the child to call their husband or wife mommy or daddy. Give the child the chance. Good morning says this guy is making some very good point. Yes, he is, and we all stand in agreement with him, brother. And we say, welcome. You always tally in school. You always late to class. Always late to class. We'll suspend you here.
And Vic, let me just add one more thing. You know, you would train your children in the best way you know how, right? You would train your children the best way you know how. And until you bring the wrong person in your home. And let me tell y'all something, kids, they have discernment. Okay, many a times your kids will say, "Mom, that person do not mean well for you," and it's not like they're saying it. They're saying it because they don't want you to be happy. Many a times you leave your children with certain individuals, and they get to build that rapport. You know, they get to deal with each other.
You want right?
And
You
when I
want married? Rufa? Rufa getting married July 8th. Rufa is not single. Rufa's getting married July 8th. Let me tell you now. Y'all don't can do that thing for Rufa. Where get first say, don't go on. I will not
and
clap for
tell
a
you not
day.
to come on this show.
Rufus is getting married July 8th, 2023. So just know that Rufus is not married yet. But next month, Rufus getting married. So go ahead, honey.
And children respect your significant other, your spouse. It comes naturally based on that rapport they've built from the initial stage. You know, there are some marriages that just shouldn't be, but it was forced. And many a times, if your kids see something that you as a mother is refusing to see, then there are going to be like a division in the family, because then your kids start to withdraw because you're also not listening to their feelings. You're not taking their own feelings into consideration. And then you see your kid starts to be withdrawn and don't want to be bothered. And then it brings conflict in the home. So it's very important that we include our kids. We are not going to force them. I'm not going to force my kids to say, okay, you need to call him daddy. If you don't call him daddy, I'm going to whoop your tail, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. No. For me, it was, like I said, it was so easy because for my kids to know what I've been through as a woman, like as a single mother. I was with my kids as single mother for a while. And when my kids told me, "Mom, I don't know if you see this, but I've never seen you smile. It's like you're just happy." My kids told me this. My son at that time, 4 years ago, he was what? He was 11. And my daughter, and then my oldest daughter, they said, "Mom, this man really makes you happy." And guess what? My kids just gravitated towards him. That respect just came naturally, because why? They see this man is making my mom happy. So of course I'm gonna just get in, join in, and we all gonna be happy, and we all happy. It takes a lot for a blended family to become happy. You just do not have to force children into liking who you like, especially if you have not given them enough time to understand and get to know that person, married or not.
And then Rufus, like I said last week, sometimes men and women get into a relationship with positive intention, with good intention.
Mhm.
Oh, I love this person. They come. A lot of times, women come. I don't know if we go into relationship with emotional, with emotions, or we go. I
Vulnerability.
think, yeah,
Vulnerability.
yeah, sometimes we are,
Vulnerability.
and that's how we are built. We are soft people,
Mm-hmm.
so we are vulnerable to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
But when we go into a relationship, we go into that
Your full
relationship
heart.
with everything. We go into that. It does not matter how we were treated in the past
No.
relationship,
Right.
but we go looking for a faithful marriage, something that companionship, loving, and we go loving on that man. We go respecting that man and
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to a positive and a long term relationship.
Relationship. Yes.
But sometimes I'm speaking on behalf of we women now. I was saying something to somebody and they said, well, our women liberation, you on here, you trying to liber, whatever. But we go into the relationship with everything, Rufus. We go into the relationship with love. We go into the relationship giving everything and
Mm-hmm.
don't want to leave. But the way in which women are treated in their relationships, in their marriages, in their courtship, in their dating, that
Mm-hmm.
causes them to want to leave. Sometimes you say, I'm going to work on this marriage or I'm going to work on this relationship. The first year passed, the second year passed, the third year passed. You stay working on it. But what we fail to realize, we as African, mental health is serious, mental health is important. You stay into this marriage, your mental health you start to have some mental breakdown. That's when you find a lot of women gaining weight in their marriages or in their relationship. And then you don't even know what they're going through in the marriage. Don't you know a lot of men in the relationship, when their wives, you meet this woman, she's sexy, looking good, you take children out of her, and she start to gain weight, you start to body
And she's
shame
not
her.
attractive no more. Right.
You're not attracted. I was in a relationship where we were laying down sleeping, and you would not touch me for a month. You would not touch me. I had to ask, am I not sexually
Mm-hmm.
attracted to you? And he said, oh, no, not that. I'm just tired. Why? Because you're having an affair out there.
Hmm.
There's anything wrong I am doing? There's anything I need to improve on? You have this conversation. You pray a lot. One thing I hate, Rufus, and I will say it and I will say it to you. I hate when I come or go to a pastor and he tell me intercede on behalf of your husband. Don't you think I have interceded on behalf of my husband? Have you sat down and tell your husband intercede for your wife? But I should be the one fasting and praying and keeping myself hungry for a man that will not change. So therefore, my mental health is important, and I want to live to see my children. Most especially the ones that got young kids out there. Today or tomorrow, if you drop dead, say, oh, I want this marriage to work. You rolling on the ground, you taking anointing oil when the man is sleeping and anointing his head, and it's still not working. Let me tell you, it's like deliverance. If you're struggling with addiction, if you're struggling with something, you have to have that wedding, and you have to be wedding. You have to want to do it. You have to have the desire that I desired for this marriage to work. I desire for this relationship to stand. And we can work on it, but you cannot be the only one putting in the
With
effort
no other
and the other
effort.
person is not putting in effort. Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
today you decide, okay, I don't want a marriage, I want to leave. Then you start behaving. After 1 month, you go right back to misbehaving. Rufus, I don't think you should stay there. Yeah, God is a God. He said you should marriage is honored by him. A man that found a wife found a good thing and favor. Sometimes you're married to the man, they favor not even there. That when you start going down, you cannot move from zero to hero. So what do? You leave. I will not stay there and die.
Now,
I've had friends who fall down flat on the ground for stress and die.
Yeah.
well, partner, you making some points there. But let us get to understand there are a lot of things that plays in. We get so emotional when it comes to marriage. You want to be counted amongst the numbers, but we don't take into consideration these days those cardinal points, those things that brought our parents together. That you see them, they are celebrating 85 years of marriage, celebrating 50 years of marriage. It took them a lot of things, and they took into consideration some of these things. Now, how many marriages do focus on the issue that has to do with infertility? do we go for tests to know as to whether we are compatible in terms of our blood type? We done. Because this man, he's worthy, or this woman is worthy, so I think I need to marry this woman. What if she has some health issues? What if she has some health issues? So you just want to be married because you want to get the worth that she has.
And Rufus,
What
next week
if this
Saturday,
person,
and Rufus, I'm sorry for
huh?
interrupting, but I'm sorry for interrupting. Next week Saturday, we're gonna dive into this topic here too, because I was on Instagram and I watched a video, and I do have the video. I will play it next week. One thing, most especially when it comes to those Christian dating, you must not have sex before you get married. I'm saying it right now, and I would say, hey, anybody can look down on me. If I have to date anybody out there, I would test the river of water and see if I can quench my test. Oh, I'm not lying to nobody. The Bible says all sins are equal. So what more? I know a lot of times people talk about sexual immorality because it's within the body. But I am not going to marry a man that I have not had intercourse with. Sexual intercourse. I'm saying it on national TV. People can say, oh, Muku, you're a Christian. You're saying that. Yes, I am not righteous, and there's no one righteous. And I will, anybody who viewing me right now, when I raise their hand, say I would do the same thing. Because I watched a video. This lady was a virgin, and she got married to this man just to find out he got no titty titty. And he
Jesus.
never told the woman during the counseling section. So the woman said she have not felt that intimacy with her husband. Yeah, he will use her mouth, he will use her finger, he will use her voice, but she's still not getting that desire. In that case, she came crying. She said, so what do I do? And my parents are minister in the church, and they're telling me to stay there. First of all, that's a big unfaithfulness right there, by not even telling me that you're not gonna pity pity.
Yeah.
But any man, I don't care. Even if you're a pastor, you come to courtship me and we want to get married, I will make you fall at that point, because you will have to sleep with me.
You know what?
Rufus, because I'm gonna be your wife anyway. So you have to sleep with me. So I tell it to you. Let me answer one of my clients calling me. Let me answer.
This is
So
a very interesting topic. It's gonna take days to kind of like kind of like discuss all avenues of this marriage thing, because in it has problems in every areas that everybody needs to be aware of, and I don't know. It's crazy, especially when you go into marriage for the wrong thing, like for that expectations, just going in there because you feel
Yes,
like
honey, I
you
will.
win the
If
game.
you're a pastor, I'm saying this to you. So if I was single, and you are pastor, and you want to come to me, know that you have to have sex with me before we get married. I'm gonna be your wife anyway. I'm not lying. I'm for real here. I feel that woman pee. How can you be married to a man you only using toy, you only using your mouth and your finger, and she have never experienced manhood before? That is so sad.
Oh man. Oof.
He should be sued and go to jail for that thing. Why you ain't tell the woman?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
now the daddy and the mom say you will bring
then you
shame
see,
and
you
gonna get married. Then men be bleeding
Pastor,
woman. You can't get pregnant, you wife, you can't get pregnant. You don't even know your sperm count is correct. Rufus, this is another topic.
yeah, you see what I was talking about.
What I need to say.
The pastor. Some of the
So
pastors are not doing well when it comes
so
to the
so
issue.
no
Some of
sex
the
until
pastors are not doing well when it comes to
married. No sex
when
until married. I will make sure we planning the wedding, not engagement with is look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. I will not mention the name, but somebody close to me were about to get married. On the eve of the wedding, she found him cheating. She told that the Liberian people and our dating happy in Liberia. She told that the Liberian people, I said, oh, that my husband already come and get married. She went, why you cooking the food for? I want a man. I found a man cheating last night and I want a marriage. This is how people should do. But when a
Yeah.
man cheats on you, your courtshiping, you still say, let me marry him. All that
Yeah. I think
mistake.
he would
No
change.
way.
No.
Thing you will change. And you continuously stay. This is another topic for the day. Darlington, I don't care if that man is out there, he just want to eat something, no problem. One thing my mama, my grandma always taught me, say, give him the go come back stroke. When I give you the go come back stroke, you will not run away, you will come back. But you will have to sleep with me before we get married. You're not coming and put me in no marriage depression here. For what? For what? Then that's when now the unfaithfulness will start. I'll say, okay, I will be eating something else I can't later. You don't want that. You don't want that in your marriage. So who don't agree with me? Raise your hands.
That's a really touchy subject right there, Vic, because trying to do it from a godly perspective, you want to
Exactly. You see
weigh.
what I just said? You hear what she said?
Yeah, yeah, don't
Exactly.
subscribe.
Can you buy a car without test driving a car? That's just one. Can you buy a car without test driving a car? Oh, this is the table talk. We talk about everything, guys. We talk about everything. So go ahead, Belinda. Before
Yeah, I
I even
mean,
know what to say. Before I even know what to
myself, I
say.
don't even know what
No,
to say.
no, interesting. You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, what I always tell people, when you put too much spirituality into physicality, it becomes a problem.
Most especially our
This
black
is
people, we
about
make Christianity too
physical
difficult.
thing.
They make Christianity too
It's
difficult.
about physical thing. It's just a physical thing. We must be able to put on par the spiritual and
Darlington,
the
Dar-
physical.
Darlington, this question, yeah, I don't even think if you have not had sex before, you want to experience it. You because you know that she was keeping herself, she's gonna get married to the husband, and the woman not laying that said Toto supposed to go in Nunu get. So the Toto not going on Nunu get, she not saying Toto to her husband thing. That's so what thing. The thing about it, he knew saying all the other thing. Then when she go outside, she go experience Toto, you won't finish. Because Toto sweet. I don't care, you can use a vibrator, you can use what. If Toto is
So
not placed that you
how
don't have it.
how did he not have his manhood? Did he have?
He was
Was
not
he just born that way?
He was born that way. He was born that way. They got people who was born that way. You know,
Yeah,
they got
that
people,
people.
they got
Yeah,
women that was born with two organs. You know that,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
got a sex, a male and a female organ. You know that, right? I have
yeah.
seen people that, you know, who
Yeah,
work
I've
in the
seen it.
medical field.
Yeah.
We see
Wow.
all these things. They got a woman that was born with two different or two organs, male and woman. They got men. I got a nephew
Yeah,
who was.
man. Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm. I got a nephew who was born second side. I got a nephew who was born second
Wow.
side. So these things happen. He was not born with it, or maybe a jelly pacifier.
Mhm.
And you know it was a pacifier. At least tell the woman say the thing about a pacifier the woman a virgin. What is when you draw from it anyway? Hey, Chineke me. No, I will test the river of water. It will quench my thirst before I say I do.
I
But
mean,
this
yeah,
is
to
a
an extent, if there's commitment, to an extent, if there's commitment coming and that person have said and made that promise that, of course, if he's already engaged you, I mean, why not? You know?
so, but then what
Yeah.
comes into play? You can't have children. You cannot birth your own biological kids.
Mhm.
So you ain't got titty. So how he would jack to get the cement to even
His
put it in
semen.
her? You understand?
Mhm.
So how do we have children? And the Bible said children are blessing, they are our inheritance. So
D
how
credit
she's gonna
people
have
is
children?
crazy.
That credit don't mind him, and he pieces today, and he know pieces will not drop back. You know pieces will not draw back. You know the network in Liberia is so bad. Liberia don't even have.
Yes.
I disagree, Curtis. No problem. Disagree. Go experience a woman who can't even. I don't even want to talk about it. All right, Curtis. Let's say this: if you are not married and you meet, I know somebody who that for JJ is sealed. It's not open. The for JJ is sealed. It's closed, like closed. If you
Like
go meet
glitter.
a woman, literally closed, like you stitch it together, like you did a surgery,
Wow.
you close it together. Honey, we have seen a lot
A lot of,
working in the
yeah.
hospital
In
and
the
nursing
hospital,
home.
yeah.
We have seen a lot of things.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
things you see you cannot even comprehend. You be like,
Comprehend it.
how God can make this one happen? The
Yeah.
first day I saw a woman that has Toto and Nunu care, I was furious. I had to go Google. I had to run beyond the doctors to explain how these things happen.
It happens through
I have
their
seen
genetic mutations. Yeah, the
exactly it
chromosomal things.
happened.
Yeah.
I have seen men who was born second side. I have seen people, woman who say my vagina had never been open. These things are real. You wouldn't know till you come to America and work in a nursing home, in a hospital, in a healthcare field to see some things that you be like, damn,
Things that
this is
you,
a
yeah.
mystery. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, I have seen all kind. That's why men can't even bluff me with a titty titty. I have seen all size of titty titty. And I see the big one, the small one, the 10 one. I see everything. Just working with these people. So I'm not lying to you. Jolly River have to be tested. Partner, you know me, I can't take it. It has to be tested. I'm for real. Oh, okay, okay, oh, Darlington, okay. Go me, woman, while I no see you. It can't open. You say, okay, I will just stay there.
D says that's why we in the most advanced country in the world where they can open it, surgically.
Yes, they can, but maybe there will be a lot of complication. I'm just saying, if you meet that kind of person, and it's a process. It's a process. If you have to go through that, it's a process.
Yeah.
But we will talk about this. We will, and I will bring the video on. Mhm.
Tika will take off your conversation.
I
Don't
tell
mind.
you,
He can already give me hard time. Y'all let go. Yeah, I worry. I will OPA doctor out there to help. I know, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Yes, that's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see these things. So yeah, Rufaya, go ahead. Yeah.
So as we were saying, right, the issue about sex before marriage, and we're talking about the physical and the spiritual aspect of it. There are a lot of things that we need to do before getting into marriage. People, most of the pastors nowadays, they only go after what they can gain from the individuals, but to get to do a real counseling so that they both can understand the faults and pay faults of each other. If they can work on those things between the time of the counseling, then they have a longer time to stay in their marriage. But if
And
those
then,
things cannot be worked out,
hmm and
if
then
those
you should tell
things
your
cannot
wife
be worked
all the
out,
secret and your husband all the secret when they counseling. If you are one man, one minute man, you tell your wife I can only go 1 minute. Oh. Then you can start working to see what causing you to go only 1 minute. Yeah. If you
because
are a woman and your
this is
sex
something that you
drive is
go
hot,
into.
yeah. If your sex drive is hot, tell him, man, me I let to go for straight 1 hour. Oh. Let him get prepared when you gonna.
This is something that we really need to, pastors or whoever, whatever religion you find yourself, they need to spend time. And most of the marriages are not going that way. The thing that counseling come up, pastor, the only thing you find most people doing now, they tell the pastor, oh, pastor, me and my fiancé getting married. Okay, I bless her. Amen. Finish. But there
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of things on hidden issues. There are a lot of hidden issues that the both of them have not come to settle on, but you want them to be joined. Marriage is not a child's
that
play.
last.
Marriage is not a child's play. Marriage is
No,
a
it's not.
covenant. That's what I said.
Hmm.
When when you see your marriage as a covenant
Hmm.
signed before God and man, there are a lot of things for you to just easily walk out. Come on, it won't come to your mind. But if you see your marriage as a contract can be broken at any time. That
Hmm.
means God is not in it. You go there for your personal aggrandizement. The both people will say you go there for your ego, or because he has money, or she's from a wealthy family, so I want to benefit some of the wealth. Come on, counseling is a place of decision making. When the pastor or whoever know that this thing is not still, you the both of you are not still agreeing on this one thing, there's no need of you venturing into it. You let go. But if you can take up the time to settle that thing before the date of the wedding, now people miss this thing. The ceremony is one aspect, but the marriage is where all of the the good, the bad, the evil can show face.
Mm-hmm.
So let us take up the time at least to do some thorough investigation. There's some family, come on, they have a very strong hope. Some people, their family, they can stay in marriage. They will get married tomorrow. The marriage is broken. There's some family, come on, hell no.
Rufus, that's crazy. It's crazy. I'm sorry. She said, I once dated a guy who insisted that he wouldn't make love to me until
And
we
she went
married.
last. That was so funny.
Last, my exit door was all I could use. I wouldn't be married and be crying in my sleep. I'm second emotion, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. But Rufus, it's last minute. We'll soon be ending the broadcast next week. Y'all tune in. We will bring up this topic, most especially about this marriage and not telling the person and the counseling. Counseling is very very, very good. Not only a religious counseling. Make sure if you're doing counseling, not only from the Bible, do the secular counseling as well. Because a lot of times you're married and not the religious counseling can help you. The only thing the religious counseling I think can help you with the pray. We talk about the physical too, because exactly counseling, religious and physical, you gotta go through secular. You gotta go through it because these things are reality in life. Reality. Muko Loma Agua also has a Bible. You must be ready to. Huh?
But Pano, the whole
Yeah.
thing, that shakabo to you see the woman.
No, no.
Finish getting married, you go in the room.
There you
Shakabo.
One woman, one.
That shakabo go do. You're going to have intercourse. That's sex.
Intercourse. That no go be praying. One woman go say, before.
That's physical thing. That one not speaking in tongue.
One woman of God told me, say,
that one not speaking in tongue.
My husband, before I sleep with my husband, I can pray for me to enjoy it. I said, are you me? I go with a man or exploring? You there praying shagabo? For what thing? I will go with a man or how I will work it, how I will ride you, how I will shake you. You think I'm going to sit down there to say, oh, God, please give me the wisdom and honor. I already get the wisdom, man, please. No, Rufus, don't laugh for the guests.
But yeah, panel. Let just to conclude on this note, on a very frank note. Now, the both of you must have a time.
She said
for deep
the whole marriage is salad today. I know soro today and salad today. She said, "Oh God, now I am it and Toto now in it." That the whole marriage, they are like English. The whole marriage is salad today. You read, ma? Yeah. To be honest, this thing is reality, and we need to talk about Rufa. No shagabo, yeah. Muko Loma also have a high sex drive, or do must be ready to flow. You damn right. Are you kidding me? You must let me.
Yeah, say now. If your sex drive is high, right, partner? That person. If your sex drive is high, and the man on is a bit lower,
I will help you.
All the both of you can do one intersection where you will drop a little bit. And he climb up to that intersection so the both of you can have the understanding.
I will make sure, but he got to.
If you say got myself that high,
no, but
come on, there must be that level of understanding. Not because you said dry high, so remember go. Woo, no.
But before I kind of man, what about time you tickle here that day? But time you tickle here, that 1 minute in the me, I like here for you. Please, man. No,
Pano.
You want me to be happy? You want me to be crying in my sleep?
Pano, what is it? Say you cannot decrease the appetite that you have. Work on him. And you can make him to be who you want him to be.
And the thing there's medical intervention now. You can't say you're leaving your husband if he's not lasting long. They have enhancements. They have enhancements that can help along that way.
Yeah, but no,
I
I
would
won't
leave
leave.
my
I won't. I
husband
won't.
because of
No,
that.
I am not going to leave my
Eh?
husband or my
Pa,
boyfriend because of that.
pa, let me just share that with you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that is real. It has
Mm-hmm.
been tested and proven. If you are a 1 minute man, if you
Mm-hmm.
know very well that you are a 1 minute man,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of things that you can do.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
One,
of course.
I've learned that 3 orgasm of a woman is equivalent to one. The ratio is 3 to 1. So the woman needs to come at least 3 times
Before you
before you
start,
the man you're one.
that's it.
Yes. So if you
That's it.
just you see the woman the woman wet, boom, you claim you know you're already 1 minute man.
Before
Seduce
you
that
see,
woman
yeah,
until
You guys have got to hold
make
up.
sure to
oh, but
marry
that's
her
the
for
table
free.
talk. That's the table talk, honey. That's the table talk. Honey, you hear nothing here. Next week
I-
Saturday, next week Saturday, not small fire damage will cause it to next week Saturday
oh,
morning. No, but these things are real, honey. Eh,
no,
yeah.
they
You will
are.
be
They
laughing.
definitely
You know
are.
how many
Yeah,
of my sisters,
have
you know
left.
what? One guy, let me tell you about one guy. I met him. We're talking, we're having a conversation. He said, Muko, I listened to your show. He told me, he said, Muko, I went to this girl to spend the night. He had just come from Africa. He said he went when he got done. The girl said, get all of my home, man. I 1 minute you not can do. He said, Muko, I was embarrassed. He said, I don't know if that my weight or because my stomach in front of me. He said, Muko, I can see you to the gym. Or can I come? What you can do to, you know? And I said, okay, I had to talk to that boy. But every time I look at your face, I can laugh. Every time I look at your face, I would just bust out and start laughing. But he was really bold to talk to me about it. These things happen. But another thing again, when you both are in love with each other,
That's the thing.
when that
That's
love is there, Rufus, do you know what they
that's
call that
it.
love? And both of your love, you're in love and attracted to each other, you will make it happen.
Well, you will make it. You will make it.
You will make it happen. You understand? You will make it happen. So this thing that boy told me nothing, and these are things are happening. Women cheating on their husband because their husband don't want to. Men cheating on their wife because their wife giving them limitation. They don't want to do certain thing with their husband. You understand? These things are real. These things are hurting people.
Uh,
And Rich Bridge really wants you to get some tips from you or whatever.
Rufus, but you know she live in Liberia. She's a Nigerian, but she live in Liberia, but she just went back to Nigeria. She needs to live in Liberia.
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said,
So the
Rufa, you
best
must
thing,
have closer.
so
Rufa, again,
that
Rufa, I read again, come here. Rufa, read again, come here.
Rufus, please come closer. Let me ask you something. Damn, you are a pro.
There you
Oh,
go, Chica Rufus. Let us know.
No,
Let us
eh?
know.
Shut up.
yeah.
Just like I was closing up on my minute, the 1 minute minute.
Mm-hmm.
Say you know you could come down, you know you play in that form of manner. When I working for you,
Mm-hmm.
because that's one of the major things there. The
Mm-hmm.
woman must get that feelings, and yeah. So say you know you could come down, when you go in a room, you know the children always on your just leave the door open small or don't lock it. Your mind, sex there with the mind, sex there with the mind. So
Hey,
That's
Jojo,
your
I
so
mind
miss
will be
it.
true.
on that
I
door.
miss
That's
it,
so
Jojo, man.
true.
I miss
So
it, Jojo,
true.
man. Mm-hmm.
So true.
Sex there with the man. So your man will be on the door. Oh, the door
Yeah.
not lock, oh.
Mm-hmm.
The door not lock. So for you to come like that, it will be
Yeah.
hard. So your whole man will be on that door. That somebody may bust into the door and one of the
Yes.
kids will just open the door on you.
Yeah.
So your
Okay.
mind will not be focused. When you have a focus on that process, you quit
Can
to
I
calm
tell
down.
you? Can I tell you the
Hmm.
joke? Can I tell you some kind of joke on the show? Let me just tell you one joke,
It's
right?
happened to me so many times. Trust me.
Let me tell you one joke. Let's close the door business here. Let me tell you one joke.
Oh God.
So the happening was happening. Now a couple of years back, Malika was young. So, you know, for God, the door lady had lock. You know, when you're in the apartment, some of
The
the apartment
apartment
don't
it
have
don't
lock.
lock, right?
The door don't have lock on the apartment doors don't have lock.
Right.
Now as compared to the homes, you know. So we there Daddy put a cover over him because we know anytime Malika can descend, they call over him. Malika, But I'm like, open the door, just to the corner there. Dali, Dali, come on, fly his hair, right? Come on, fly his hair. Malika, mommy, I say, yeah, baby. I hear you saying, you okay? I say, yeah, baby, I'm okay. You say, okay, what, daddy? I said, oh, I don't know. I think daddy gone to the bathroom. Malika went to the bathroom. He left. He came back. Mm. Daddy, where were you? I was looking for you. I came in the room. I see you. Daddy said, I was in the bathroom. No, daddy, you wasn't in the bathroom. I went in the bathroom. I see you. What play you were there? He said, Malika, you didn't answer to my question. Go to your room. That door and I thought can keep you awake. Hey, you
Oh yeah.
scared. Oh, Lord.
Seriously.
So, mm,
So lawyer man, I focus on that thing for you to kind of be how.
yeah, so when you want me to man, Chad, but anyway, we thought this is another conversation for today. We said thanks to all our viewers. I got my clients then that's supposed to come 11 o'clock to start doing their makeup. Thanks to all our viewers, all those that have participated, our YouTube. As our YouTube channel was hot today, we had a lot of views on our YouTube channel today. So we said thank you guys for coming on. Stay tuned for next week. Rufus, I'm always honored to have you on the show. You was the one that even taught me what I know today when it comes to microphone. Honey, you remember me and Rufus used to do the show on Spoon till the
Yeah,
boss
yeah.
decided to put our schedule to the politics. So, but
Oh
when
man,
something has to go out, it has to go out.
it
Nothing can
has to.
stop it. And
Right.
Rufus, I'm honored to always have you in my corner. We talk a lot, we joke a lot, and I'm only mad that you were not even like, push your wedding forward for me to be in Liberia. But anyway, it's a blessing to know that my brother's getting married.
When is he
That's
getting married? Next month?
the 8th of next month, July 8th.
Oh,
At least
oh.
you would have pushed it to July 10th on Malika's birthday, but you put it to the 8th. But anyway, I'm still in your corner and you are in my corner. I'm glad to have you on my platform. I was telling Rufa, I said, Rufa, you're not on our show anymore. So you're coming back to the platform. Yeah, we're coming to make the platform hot, but we love you. Rufa Skin last week, we have 14K view on our Let's Talk About It with Moko page.
Well, Rufus, you're breaking people heart. Rich Bridge say you just broke her heart, and she wants you back next Saturday, every Saturday.
Yeah, she will. He will. Rafa, the woman say you brought her heart because you getting married.
Oh gosh.
Yes, Rufus will be available next Saturday. By God's grace.
Rufus
So,
is
uh,
tied.
yeah, Rufus. We love you, Rufus, and I'm happy. I'm really happy that Rufus is getting married to
That's
his
a
heart.
good thing. A
So
man
he's
that findeth
happy.
a wife.
Not only that, he getting married to somebody I think he love and they both love each other and understand each other. And I pray it work, to be honest with you. So and y'all don't forget now, let's talk about it with Muku Table Talk. We are patrons in our wedding. So we have to step up our game when it comes to Rufus' wedding. Rufus not begging off our money, but we as a team, we have to contribute towards Rufus' wedding as a team. Yeah, so but if you guys can follow the Let's Talk About It with Muku online TV, there where we get most of our views, and you guys can, leave a views, leave a comment. And if you can inbox us with topics that you feel you want us to talk about, just inbox us, bring up a topic, things that you're experiencing, and would be more than honored to have you on if you want to come on. The last time Rich Bridge was on the live broadcast with us, and because of the time issues, we will continuously do in the morning so our people in Africa can be more involved now. So yeah, so that's my closing submission, and we say we love you guys, and I'll turn it over to Honey, and then Rufus can close up.
Well, it was very interesting topics, and I'm really thrilled to have joined. Thank you, Vic. Thank you, Muku, for including me in this very needed topic in broadcast. And may God bless you, and let's keep doing this because our community really do need these topics and education. And Rufus, it was nice meeting you, and hope to see you Next week.
And hope to have you on too as well. Anybody honey does a lot of inspirational hours. So like I told her, I said, honey, you can come on the platform and do your inspirational hours. And one thing on the platform, when you're doing your inspirational hour, we can play gospel videos and stuff for you. When you break in, we play
Yeah.
music, and we promote, and we elevate each other. So this is something that we need to do for each other. Yes, we promote, we talk and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I
we
come
love.
on every Sunday at 7 p.m. Minnesota time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I think Pacific is at 5 p.m. because it's 3 hours back. Liberia, I don't know, probably 2 a.m., but people
five
gonna be
five
asleep.
hours. Yeah. Some
Yeah,
people, that's when
so
they get a free base. They can be on 2 a.m. They
right.
can get a free base, right,
Right.
Rufus? So Rufus, you can go ahead. We turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate, as always. This is my calling. I've come to realize that talking, yeah, aside from my journalism, but talking and talking to appealing to the minds of people seem to be a calling for me. And I pray that God inspire me always to be a blessing to people. Though we have our own shortcomings in life, we are
Hmm.
not perfect, but
Hmm.
we are striving to perfection. So the little knowledge that we have, let us all share so that we build a formidable family. Because mind you, a lot of families are going apart. They are going asunder. A lot of marriage going asunder because of little things that they don't know. So if we can share, like Muhammad Gandhi said, like I always say, the difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing will surface to solve most of the world's problems. So if we take up the time to share the little ideas and you have your own idea, we blend those ideas together, we can have a very good society.
Amen.
And trust me, there are two things we must take responsibility for in our lives: our
Hmm.
fortune and that of our misfortune.
Yep.
Yes, we must take responsibility of them. Never you blame somebody for your misfortune in life.
No.
You allow them the open door. If your door were closed, they wouldn't have come in to do what they did. So
Right.
because you allow them to come in, that's why they step in. So you must take responsibility of those misfortunes that you are experiencing in
And
life,
learn from them
uh,
because they are all teaching
and learn from
moments.
them.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Hmm.
we'll always be remembered for two things in this life: the problems we create and those problems we solve. Thank you
Yep.
so much for the opportunity. I look forward to being here as always. In as much the time is available, I will make my own input so that we have a better society.
So the only time Rufa will not be available will be July 8th, and 2 weeks after July 8th, we got our honeymoon period.
I
Rufa,
tell you.
Rufa will be there fully, oh.
Because you were from that baby. You was looking at married to a baby.
Yes, we been a marathon, baby. You're not gonna break one of one of my viewer, my strong fan. You
I
broke
tell
her
you, the
heart.
rich bridge is broken hearted. Mm.
I think we need to start doing love
Oh,
connection on this
it's
year
not,
too. Go open it. That my client. Go
it's
open
not,
it.
it's not, it's not too harsh. Oh. That
Mm.
break high is not too harsh. Oh.
I know she just playing though. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. It's an honor, and we see you guys next week, honey. We see you next week,
Oh,
and I'm so
definitely,
glad.
definitely.
I'm so glad you were able to come on, and thank
Yes.
you for watching. This is the Let's Talk About It with Moku Online TV. Bye
Mhm.
bye. The table
Bye.
talk.
Thanks, everyone.